The 2020 Yamaha YZ250X is based off the YZ250, which is famous for getting a minimal number of updates over its 14-year lifespan. Given that the Yamaha YZ250X cross-country bike was first introduced in 2016, we never expect it to get any actual worthwhile updates. The YZ250X and YZ250 are forced to rely on Yamaha's R&D department to bring about change. That department went to lunch about a decade ago when they were supposed to work on two-strokes, and they haven't came back. But what exactly is a YZ250X? It's a Yamaha YZ250 that costs $100 more due to the addition of a kickstand, 18-inch rear wheel, and semi-wide ratio gearbox. As far as the engine, the head volume is increased by 2.1 cc's, reducing the compression ratio. The exhaust port height is raised 0.5 millimeters, and the power valve shape is updated to match the exhaust port height. Its CDI timing is delayed in the mid to high RPM for a broader and gentler pull. The Yamaha power valve system's governor spring and preload settings are softer to open sooner. The Yamaha YZ250X expansion chamber is also different from the YZ250 pipe, but only to make it 35 millimeters narrower to help it keep away from tree stumps and rocks. At the lever, the clutch pull feels lighter as the clutch spring rate has been reduced by 10%. If you are torn between buying a YZ250 or a YZ250X, here are a few things that might sway your opinion. Yamaha bills the 2020 Yamaha YZ250X as a cross-country machine, which is more accurate than designating it a purebred off-road or motocross bike. MXA test riders love that you can take a cross-country bike to a local motocross track and spin laps on it. What makes that possible is that the power plant in most cross-country bikes is straight off of its motocross donor bike. From the get-go, the YZ250X focus was off-road, not motocross. It has a perky low to mid power band that is great for rocky trails and tight twisties, but it isn't the power band that you want off the starting line against 39 other hardcore motocross machines. The very tall 4th and 5th gear ratios make the YZ250X suited to open trail and desert riding, where the rider can just click into the 4th or 5th and cruise. As great as those tall gears are for off-road, the gaps are very big for motocross track. The softer suspension absorbs rocks without deflection, and it's well planted on slick terrain, but it bottoms on jumps. You might think that the more mellow power band would be a big disadvantage on a motocross track, but it really isn't. The power delivery is so much more manageable than on the YZ250 motocross model. You can ride the YZ250X with more gusto and less trepidation. The milder hit and tractable pull off the engine, along with the ultra plush suspension, make the YZ250X a decent motocross bike, especially for novices, vets, and riders who want to do double or triple duty on the same bike. However, if you buy a YZ250X, import the cylinder, mill the head, and aftermarket the exhaust, you might as well have bought a Yamaha YZ250 and saved the money. The 2020 Yamaha YZ250X is billed as a cross-country machine, but Yamaha's business plan did not include going whole hog to achieve it. Without a 6-speed gearbox or a larger fuel tank, it is immediately handicapped for most types of technical cross-country riding or day-long trail rides. If you are a pure off-road rider or hardcore motocrosser, there are better bikes for you. The YZ250X isn't the best 250cc two-stroke off-road racer or the best 250cc motocross bike, but it might be the best all-around 250 two-stroke for a guy who wants to ride off-road this weekend and at the track the next weekend. So that's it for the 2020 Yamaha YZ250X. Believe it or not, the MXA Wrecking Crew has tested quite a few cross-country machines. If you want to learn more about those bikes that we've tested and get our opinions on them, you can click these video thumbnails now. And also, to stay up to date with the latest news, reviews, race results, product tests, bike tests, and more, check out motocrossactionmag.com. And to stay up to date with our latest YouTube video uploads, you can click that subscribe button just so you're notified whenever we upload a fresh new video.